Titanis widely known as Godzilla, first appeared in 1954. The Titan is considered to be a hero, though he will do anything necessary to protect the Earth from threats. Godzilla is shown to be the most dominant out of the rest of the Titans. We call him the king of the monsters.
Alright guys, so I hope you guys are having a good morning. Today is August 12th and it is a Monday. So you guys know what day it is today. Hold on, I guess it doesn't matter. So figured I'd film a little bit this morning just before I eat breakfast. I'm gonna try to be super intentional this week about waking up at 7 regardless of what time I go to sleep. So it is my responsibility to make sure I go to sleep in a timely manner so that I get my rest required to be great at what I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and chow this down. I think it's like 200 to 250 grams of egg whites with 2 whole eggs and a few ounces of skirt steak, and then to my knowledge it's going to be almost this whole dang quart, 24 out of the 33.8 fluid ounces of this quart. That's going to be my carbs for this morning, and that's going to be my breakfast. It should come up to around 800 calories. So I did manage to weigh in at a low last week. I weighed in at 404, I think either Sunday after Serge left, and then I essentially dropped 9 pounds throughout the week. A lot of that was like inflammation, water weight, and just like the foods I was eating. So I just kind of needed to clear out my gut, get back on routine. Dropped to 395, and then this weekend, Saturday, so not yesterday, Saturday, I went to go eat sushi with the fam. That got my weight back up. And then yesterday, I just couldn't help myself. My mom made these shepherd's pie stuffed bell peppers. Oh my gosh, that lady, 20 out of 10. I could not help myself. I usually have a pretty good self-control when it comes to eating, but man, my mom's cooking just, it got me. I ain't even gonna lie to you guys. I ate a lot. Like, I ate so much that I literally almost immediately fell into a 15-minute snap. I don't think that's healthy, but it happened. And then she also made some choco flan, and I had to get some of that too. I couldn't say no. So I'm pretty sure yesterday I had a really, really, really fat dinner. But that was essentially the last time I ate. So I feel flat this morning, but obviously I'm gonna be saturated from the carbs. Yeah, but today we do have a big set of 5, a little bit more than last week. So same thing, guys. Not gonna prioritize a single, and then I'm just gonna either go straight to the top or ascend into it, which we're kind of getting to that weight load where if I feel good enough and warm enough, it's almost the safer, smarter option to go straight to the top instead of ascending and fatiguing myself. So we'll see, but I'm gonna go ahead and chow this down, guys. I'm gonna go do some work upstairs, and then I'll see you guys at the gym. All right, what's up, guys? So we're back at the gym. I just got done setting up my tripod and camera and stuff, got my mic on. Woo! So it is now 10:27, which is about
2 hours since I ate breakfast. So everything should be nice and digested, ready to go. All we gotta do now is drink hydrate, start warming up, and then we'll be ready to go, baby. So for today, I know I talked a little bit about what I had, but let's talk about what we actually have for training, right? So the entire narrative of like why we're starting to come a little bit early is because it's still a little bit cooler in the morning. It's not as hot because right now it's actually still like 83, creeping into 85. So if we can knock out squats before it gets to 90 plus, perfect. But for today, this will be week 3, day 1. I have a single at 7 to 8 and a 4x5 at 7 to 8. So I think at a minimum for the single 903. If 903 feels good, maybe we can go up to like 970, 440 kg. That'd honestly be really, 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 really sweet. If I could hit like a 970 top single today, man, I would just be ecstatic. And then followed by that, I have a 4x5 at 7 to 8. So depending on how my warm-ups go, I will probably just go straight into my top set, depending on how my single feels. If I feel strong and my top single, I'm gonna try to undershoot my single a little bit, so not necessarily max out the upper echelon of the RPE, but kind of keep it within play. If that feels good, oh boy, then we're gonna have a great day today. I feel good. Been getting my sleep in order. I gotta go use the restroom real quick, but I'm gonna go ahead and mix my pre. You guys know how we roll. It's gonna be that transparent labs. We're going with the peach mango today. And then after I use the restroom, I'm gonna start warming up and be ready to go. So let's have a great day today, guys. Oh, and do you guys know how long I've been waiting to wear this shirt, but I didn't want to give away any spoilers. For a lot of you guys who do not know, me and my fiance are expecting our first child, and it's a son, it's a boy, guys. He's actually due in October, and it was my decision to keep this very low key up until we announced it last week because, well, by the time you guys watch this video, it might be like 2 weeks or a week and a half. You guys know how YouTube works. Anyways, so Dadzilla, guys. Operation Baby Goji on the way, baby Broly, baby Mega. So, anyways, I'm gonna go take care of biz and get ready. We're gonna have a phenomenal training session today, guys. Well. Look at this cool angle here, eh? Jeez. Not bad. Not too bad. That was wobbly. Okay, guys, so that was 440. 970 pounds, yeah. 440 kilos, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was a little scared when going up to it just because 445 is what got me pinned last block. So it's just the reality is every single time that I get under that bar, I am at the liberty of whatever comes my way, you know. And I don't mean to be like a Debbie Downer or anything, but it's just the truth. It can be very scary doing what I do, and I can't forget that. I have to remind myself it's so I can make the best possible decisions, right? Because everyone, including myself, who embarks on this path of pushing the standard and limits, we walk a very thin silver lining between pushing the envelope, like I mean like absolutely really pushing it, and where you get better, you get stronger, but you also got to keep yourself together and healthy. So it's wild. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was really starting to kind of like get cold, not physically, but spiritually and mentally. But what am I gonna tell my son? You know, there's so many things I wanted to tell you guys that I think about, because my son is probably my biggest motivating factor. Because when I think about like taking it easy or going a different route, I think about what conviction as a man am I going to have when my son walks a similar path where he needs his father to push him through obstacles that he can overcome when he gives it his best. What type of man am I going to be if I can't even be the father he needs? So that is what honestly keeps me going sometimes. It's just the fact that I don't want my son to be a quitter. So whenever he goes through something tough and something difficult, I need to have gone through something tough and difficult and persevered, so that I can look him in the eye when he gets old and encourage him with a full heart, because that's what we do. That's what my brothers did with me. That's what my brothers did with me. When they was going through hardships, they passed that on to me. So now as a man, I gotta make sure that I pass that on to my son so he can pass it on and move it forward. Because that's what this is about, man. It's about rising to the challenge. It's about the meaning behind your actions, not just the consequences, not just what comes after. This isn't about glorifying yourself. This isn't about your dynasty. No. I mean, it can be, but it's about something deeper, something bigger. Like right now, I have 390 kg loaded on the bar for a set of 5. Everything in my body would feel better if I didn't do it. But if I didn't do it, I'm gonna remember this. And whenever my son wants to take it easy, what am I gonna say then? So I gotta keep my word. I gotta give it 100%. And I gotta get after it. That's the only way to go forward. There you go, baby. Good set. Good set. Whew. Whew.
I can't lie, that walkout's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's so crispy.
You got a little rhythm to it.
Yeah. You got to. That might be my last set, bro. No cap. So, that was 8:59 for 5. Eliminated. Dunzo. I was gonna go down maybe to like 4 reds, but essentially I've already stimulated my body to a point where if the gap in between sets is too vast, it kind of just becomes junk volume, right? And essentially you don't want to do junk volume, because junk volume is just, it's wasted work, you know? So I'm gonna just go ahead and rack the bar and move to deadlifts, because I would like to have some decent deads. But the dilemma is, should I go pull over there by the pounds, or should I stick to kilos, right? But I think I'm gonna stick to kilos, just because I've been such a stickler for like comp specificity recently. So I'm gonna just stick on kilos. But man, this sucks cheeks, bro. Like imagine having to take off 900 pounds on the bar. It doesn't matter, kilo or pounds. At this point, it's hella plates. Stuff gets tiresome. And then, to boot, I gotta load those kilos all over again to hit some deadlifts. But the more that I think about it, the more that I kind of want to go pull on the pounds, because there's 100-pound plates. I could just go, I can go 200, 400, 6, and then be done. Not red, 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 red. Man, just, I know a lot of people talk about this already, but honestly, the absolute worst part about being strong is having to load and unload the plates. Honestly, I think that's my favorite part about competing, is I get to lift weights where people load it for me. Honestly, that's probably the best part, ain't it, Carlos? That when you compete, people load plates for you. Because I tell you what, man, this gets very, very tiresome. Man, I hate that I'm convincing myself subconsciously to go pull on pound plates. Carlos still has one more set, so I'm not gonna ask him to help me drop the bar. But boy, do I want to. Boy, do I want to ask him to help me. By far, absolutely the worst part. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start at 3 reds and then go to like a first working set. I think that's the best course of action here. Huh? That's it, the Dukes. All right, I just have 3 sets. So I'm gonna count this as set number 1. Whew. I think I'm gonna go, remember, 300 kg, and then we'll see how that feels. Let's stay there.
Alright guys, so as you guys can see, we are not at the gym anymore. We are at my crib. My office, to be precise. So my little iPad mount arm actually came with an attachable camera screw point. So I unscrewed the iPad attachment and I switched it over to my camera so that I could actually, you know, have my camera on my desk instead of having to take out my tripod, set it up, take my tripod, put it up. This just felt like a way better option. And I like the different angle, right? Because normally you guys are used to seeing me this way, but now you guys are here. And essentially my entire reasoning for finishing out the video at the apartment is because it just kind of changes up the format, right? You guys are used to me recording like my warm-ups, my sets, dialogue in between, and then accessories, dialogue in between accessories or after. So I figured that changing the setting would help change the tone, right? So it kind of allows me to essentially speak in a different headspace, thus producing a conclusion that's been filtered later on in the day, right? So like right now, I had already had a meal. I had to move some stuff upstairs, some furniture that we're putting together for our son, and then I washed the dishes, drank some water. So I've had quite a bit of time and things to do in between to essentially like pull away from today's training session so I can have a more unbiased, objective take on it, right? So today I had a single at 7 to 8 and it was supposed to be 4 sets, but I just did one, right? And I essentially took my top set as my first set. I went 859 for 5, 390 kg, just 10 kilos off my best set of 5. And, you know, it moved really well. Like, I am very happy with my conditioning and strength to finish that set because I was doubting myself a little bit going into it, and I just kind of had to nut up. I essentially just kind of had to convince myself that I could do it. It was logical, but at the same time, you know, just because it's the data is pointing towards that direction, sometimes the heart and the soul have a hard time buying in. So today, you know, some days are like that where I'm kind of faced with a daunting task and they can be very demoralizing, even to myself. So, you know, but I knew that I had the strength for it today, and I knew for sure that if I locked in, it was going to move. So I locked in, I knocked it out for 5. My technique is starting to feel more comfortable. My body is adjusting to that pressure, right? I didn't like sprint into these lows right away. This is week 7 back on training after Worlds. Compared to like after Sheffield, I like a week or 2 in, I was like boom, already into the 800s for reps. No gradual progressive overload. Whereas this time, I might have gone a little too ham the first block, but my actual volume sets were digestible. They were, I think the heaviest I went was like 7 something for 7, 738 for 7, which compared to 859 for 5, you know, we've come a ways because I think week 1 I did 804 for 4. Last week I did 826 for 5, and then today I did 859 for 5, right? So everything's moving along nicely. Taking my time, slowly going up week by week. Next week I actually have sets of 4. So, you know, I think, actually no, I will not be going for a PR set of 4. My best set of 4 was 925 pounds. I don't think that would be smart. But 903 for 4, okay, I can get along with that. So, just a few, just some things that I'm kind of bouncing off my head right now. Obviously, I got to see how the rest of this week goes and how the weekend goes. I will be in Colorado next Monday. I'll be landing, I forget the name of the city. I'm flying into Denver, and then from there, I'm going to take an Uber, I think like an hour and change away to the hotel. And then from there, I'm going to chill out Sunday. I'm going to have to wake up early Monday, go hit the gym, and then I'm going to be shooting a video with Half Thor Julius Bjornsson. Do you guys know who that is? I kind of like this half light, half dark. But anyways, so yeah, we're going to be shooting a video together. we're gonna be doing like a deadlift tutorial, and then after that we're gonna go do some advertisements with Sprouts, since they have a partnership with Transparent Labs. And then after that, me and Thor are going to be attempting a food eating challenge. Now, I might be a big son of a gun, but I ain't built like that. I ain't built to eat that. I mean, I can throw it down, don't get me wrong. I can throw down a few plates. But in terms of like 10 pounds of pizza, I don't know about that, man. Maybe I could eat 2 pounds of pizza. Maybe 3. I don't know about 4. 4 sounds like it'd be pushing it. But that's what we're doing. So, dang, I'm gonna be out of town next week. Time flies by, doesn't it? But yeah, no, honestly. And then on top of that, I did 375 for 3, 661 for 3, and then 705 for 3 with a long hold, right? I took a more chill approach with deadlifts today, and I prioritized my lockout and holds over the weight, right? Which is what I should be doing. I'm not perfect. So, had a pretty good day today. Squats felt good, did some good work. Deadlifts were on the money. I did have a few cuts open up, but I mean, that's nothing Athletic Tip can't fix. So, we're just chilling. And then, honestly, I've really been like not even looking at my program ahead of time. I honestly kind of just prioritize like my life outside of the gym in terms of like sleep, nutrition, and work. And then as long as that's in order, whenever I get to the gym, I just kind of look at what I have in the day and I attack it. It's not like I'm looking a week ahead and like, how we just talked about next week? It's just not like oh man, next week I have a top set of 4 at RP78. I'm about to go ham. Like, no, like that's not really what I'm thinking right now. But anyways, I think that's going to be a good place to cut off the video. I don't want this conclusion to turn into too long of a yap sesh. As it is right now, this is probably going to be like a 8-minute conclusion. So if you guys stayed all the way to the end, like I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. And I will make sure to just catch up on videos, guys, and be all up to date by the time I get to Colorado. So that way it's not like an exaggerated amount of time in between. That's not how I roll. But anyways, peace.